Hello and welcome to this video tutorial in which we're going to deal with the VR chess. So in this game you will be able to move the chess pieces by using your headset, as you're going to see. Okay, you can use your headset and you will see how a loading bar appears, and then you can move your pieces accordingly to the permissive movement of the pieces. So for example, if I take the queen and I want to go here, that's not a permissive movement and it's not going to work. Okay, as well as if I want to take her here, that could be a possible movement, but there is that collision and it won't work. Okay. So now let's explain how the project is composed. And we have two scenes. The first scene is the chess layout. That is the one that we're using now to show you how things work. So in this one we have the chessboard that is composed by 8 rows, and in each row we have 8 squares. So you can see there 8 squares here, and a chess square, it's just that game object that is also a prefab object, as you can see. Chess square here, and has a mesh render that is going to be changed alternatively to black and white. Then we have a chess square script that we're going to look at in a few minutes. Then we have a box collider, okay, that is going to trigger the events, and then we have the event trigger. And inside the event trigger, it's important to notice that we have this chess square on exit and on base, for example, okay. And finally we have the pointer functions. So the pointer functions here is just the script that is going to communicate with the HUD here, with this script circuit trigger, and is going to trigger the functions of submitting things. That's all. Okay. Next, the player pieces. Inside of this we have the pawns, the bishop, the tower, the king, the queen, etc. So a pawn or a knight game object has the same structure. So it has all of these things. Has a mesh collider, a look at objective. There is a script that is always facing the GVR main, it's facing the player. Then we have a box collider that is going to be triggered in order to prevent collisions. Then we have the rigid body, the event trigger, and the pointer functions again. So in fact the pointer function is going to be on the chess square and on the pawn or tower or other game objects. Okay, I'm going to take the queen and use it as a prefab also. So you have all the pieces here as a prefab for you to use in future games. Okay, so let's start about the opponent. The opponent is this image here that also has some pieces, but as you can see the pieces are different, are not the prefab ones. They are static pieces only. Okay, so how is this going to work? So whenever I hit play, okay, I'm going to choose my players 1 pieces to show you what happens. We have inside of them, we have, or inside of pawns, we have the box colliders, okay, as you can see. So those are the surfaces in which we're going to be able to focus with our headset and select our pieces. As you can see here in the piece movement script, we have select game object, we have nothing. So whenever I move to a piece, I'm going to trigger a function that you can see it gets the pawn to this script. So you go to the pawn 3, and inside of this you have the select piece script, and inside the select piece script, okay, we're going to see how things work. So when we have on piece over, as what we're doing is we are setting the ground transform rotation to 0 and the ground enable. So this is the effect of focusing on the object, as you saw, that gives that yellow color, okay, on the ground, okay. And then on piece exit, what we're doing is the opposite thing. But on piece click or submit, okay, that is the case, we're doing these things here. So as you can see, we say the piece movement script select game object is this game object, and the last position is this one also, okay. So this is the things we do when it clicks or submit, which is the pointer scripts, okay. Okay, so then the next thing is create movement. So to create movement, what we're going to do is to move our cursor in front to this square here, and as you can see, the piece is going to move towards that position. So that is controlled by the piece movement script. So if we go to the piece movement script, we have the action move piece. So in move piece, what we're going is to start a coroutine in which we are moving slowly, as you can see here, the position of our game object into this final position, okay. And this move piece is called from the chess square, I think. Yeah, you can see it here. So when we click on square, we do a certain of verifications in function if it's a pawn, a knight, etc. Well, I'm going to explain that in a second. And then after all that things, we say move the game object that is selected. Okay, so if it is a pawn, we can move in one square but in the fourth direction, so that is given by this condition here. If it is a knight, we're able to move in an L shaped, so that is this condition here. You can see that we have two squares at the square that is 4 plus 1 is 5, so we need to do the square root of 5, okay. If it is a bishop, we can move in a diagonal way. So diagonals mean that the two components must be equal, okay. So the next thing is the tower. The tower moves in a linear way. So to move in a linear way, we have to assure that the difference from positions, okay, has a component that is equal to 0, and this is the verification of that. Then the king is able to move in any square distance. So to do that, we have this condition, okay. And finally, the queen is the one that can move as a bishop, as a tower. So the sum of those things give this expression here. Okay, you can see that we have the condition of the tower and the condition of the bishop. Okay. So and finally on x square, what we're going to do is setting the material to the original value, which is the gray or the white. So this is all regarding the scripts. Finally, whenever we move, I don't want to click this. Finally, whenever we move a piece incorrectly, as I'm going to try to do now. Okay, let me see. Yeah, if I move this piece, and as it is a queen, I'm able to move it towards this position. As you have seen, it's going to hit this object and it's going to return to its place. So that part of the script is inside this movement, move to objective in this condition. If there is condition equals to true, we have to go to the last position. So that is the main part of the code that does that. Okay. So if you want to play a little bit with the movement of the pieces, I'm going to save it. Yes. You have the other scene, that is the piece movement test, in which you have the pieces repeated only one time, and you can move them freely. So you can see how the bishop, okay, when selected, it can move in diagonal, as you can see. All of these squares are possible. This one not, this one it is. Okay, for example. Then the king, we're going to see that he's able to move in any direction, as you can see. Only one square, as I told. We cannot go further. Then about the tower, we can see that he can move in linear way, as you can see. But not in the diagonals. The pawn can only move forward in one direction, in one square, sorry. And the queen, she will be able to move in any direction, as many squares as she wants, as you can see. Okay, that's all the possible movements that she can have. Okay, so thanks for watching this tutorial, and I hope you like the package and consider downloading it, because we are passionate about VR and we want to share our ideas and our new concepts and a new way of interacting, especially in this game that is a popular game, and share with the world, and just be able to show how things are possible.